All right, here we are, discovering the magic.
Yes.
So, welcome to everyone and to both of us as well.
Yes.
And thank you, each and every one of you. And thank you, Serena.
And thank you, Tanya.
Thank you. Would you like? Well, my cat is going against the window because there's a fly, so he's super happy. Would you like to start with just some breathing?
Yes. Yes.
Hmm. Hmm. So we invite everyone to join us in a sweet moment of breath. Just breathing, staying, enjoying this sweet moment. Just letting go of every other moment to be only here. Feeling the sweetness of your breath. It's always such a gift to just be able to take a few deep breaths and land in that sweet space within.
Yes. That is the magical space that we all have, isn't it?
It is. And there are moments, of course, when there's a lot of turmoil going on around us, where also we feel challenged, etc., and where it seems hard to come to that sweet space. But it is really about just allowing that, allowing everything else to become less relevant than coming into the breath. And of course, it takes practice. It's not something that one can do instantly, all of a sudden, the very first time. It takes practice to be able to just shut everything else down in order to come into that sweet space and then open everything up so that it can be acknowledged.
Yes, it takes practice and it evolves and it shifts. It's an adventure of discovery when you're breathing.
Actually, it's a permanent adventure of discovery because it's always changing.
Yes.
So the feeling within is always different. And today we're kind of a bit quieter than usual. And the idea is, and just because we both feel that way, there's a lot going on in the world. I know each one of you and all of you are feeling a lot of stuff. A lot of it maybe is not even yours because at this point in March, before the big evolutionary shift that is already happening within many, but which will be more prevalent within the rest of the world, um, there are many old structures trying to hold on. And Twinkle, again, as usual, comes and says, "Hello, I'm here." So he's trying to find his comfortable spot here. So many old structures are being challenged everywhere in the world. It's not just in one geographical space, and it's also in every person. Everyone, one way or another, is being challenged to be real with themselves. Every single person. Some will receive that as good news, as something wonderful. Others will receive that as a big scare. Others will resist it valiantly and will try and deny the new that is coming in. But the new that is coming in such flood force that it's unavoidable, one way or another. But yeah, it can be received kicking, screaming, and shouting, or it can be received with relief, with open arms. Oh, wow, finally, there is something happening. Something is shifting. So, for everyone who is here with us today, the intent to keep this very calm is intentional, and it is for each one to be able to gain space between what seems to be happening in the world and inside of you and what is really happening. So if everyone here today can just take that space and feel into the new, feel into the energy that is of service rather than the energy that seems to not be, that can be a really wonderful thing for all of us today.
It's different in the sense that every human is feeling it on the planet, which increases the energy vibration. It's a whole different experience for mankind as a whole. And for myself, recently coming back from Portugal, coming back into my life and having to make a choice. Okay, do I want to be here in this moment in my life for me? Now, I have to be honest with you. Not all of the parts of me, the aspects of me, said yes. And this is where choice comes in, breath by breath. So when we speak of the breath, the degree of focus that it requires, and Tanya, I don't know if you experience this, but for me, the level of focus that it requires, the feeling my body, feeling my breath, coming back and staying with me, not moving off with thoughts and energy and emotion. It's a part of becoming the brilliance of who I am, not the aspect energy of who I am. So it's a journey. I loved being in Portugal. It was so magical to be with you and Joanna and so many others. The experience, now here comes my cat, was so outside the box for me. It was like being sprinkled with fairy dust. And then coming back to my life here, which seems very normal and regular. And so I've had to move through some grief. And keep staying with this, what do I choose for me? And the bottom line is I choose to love me and come more fully into my body with each breath, each moment, and be honest with me. And that's the key, is to be honest with myself in every moment. And this is where it's not easy, where it's not just a cakewalk. Being with you in Portugal and watching you be so human, dancing under the stars, and you were so goofy. You know, it was a gift for me to see the humanness of you daily. And the magic of being a human being. Oh my God. Would you please, silly kitty? Come on. Oh my goodness. The magic of being a human is, can we accept all all the parts of it? Not segregate, not push away, resist. It's in the allowing, it's in the surrendering. And that's what I've learned from you. Probably it's one of the biggest gifts I've learned from you, is, can you surrender in each moment without resistance? That's the essence of magic, because it distills the chaos.
Exactly.
Feel what I'm saying? It distills the chaos. And sometimes when you're gripped in the chaos, like I have been at times, it's almost like that's all there is. But that's when the breath is the power. And sensing, which dear Joanna said to me the other day. She said, sense what Tanya wrote to you. Don't read it from your mind, which I had done. And as I sensed from my soul energy, I was able to come out of the reaction that I was in. And my biggest gift to anyone is being so genuine, because I am real in any moment, in any time. That's what you are. You showed me real Tanya.
Yeah, we are 100% real.
Real human. Human.
Totally. Totally. And never pretending not to be.
Right.
We are not pretending to be spiritual, pretending to be wise, pretending to be better, pretending to be anything. We're just
Yeah.
absolutely human, and love being human and love being with other humans.
Yes. And the greatest gift for anyone is, can you look at your beliefs around being spiritual?
Yeah,
Because spiritual doesn't mean that you walk on water and that you never have human upset, human challenges.
exactly. Totally. Actually, being in the world, in this world of form, and its evolutionary principle implies precisely change. And for there to be a need for change, there needs to be something that we stumble upon, that, wait a minute, this I'm going to change. And so that's what this planet Earth is all about. It is about adjusting to what makes sense. And I would take that word sense in our inner sense, is not what makes sense in the way we understand or figure out.
Yes, yes.
So is what we sense is the way to adjust our rudder. And that it changes so often. Why does it change? Because this is not a static reality. Third dimension is about experiencing form, is about the experience of oneself in form. Therefore, it is not static. And because it is not static, we are not static. But if we try to stay static,
Yeah.
then we feel bad, we feel uncomfortable, we feel frustrated, we feel unease, etc. And whenever something needs to be adjusted, it will produce some sort of discomfort so that we can be aware of it. Oh, there's something here. And then produce the choice that will lead to the change that will then bring balance again. So, because the whole thing about third dimension is to experience form, bringing everything into balance and harmony. But balance and harmony are a permanent adjustment. It's not like balance and harmony is always there and that's it, you do nothing about it. It's just like the breath, you see. The breath is constant movement, and for it to be in balance and harmony, we have to bring exactly the focus. And you know that I experience it that way because I share it all the time, that it's about coming into the body,
Yes.
about being present here in our sense, in our feeling. And that's how you adjust. That's how we all adjust. So, balance, we have sometimes, I believe, a preconceived idea that balance
Absolutely.
is permanent.
Oh, yeah,
And there's
I did.
nothing further from the truth.
Well, as a child perspective, it was like when I get here, oh, it's going to be wonderful and I won't ever have any more issues or
Yeah.
problems or bad feelings or
And we all have that, right? We've all had these thoughts.
well, for instance, me getting home and then getting a bronchial thing and a sinus thing and knowing I'm not sick, I'm moving more old energy,
Yeah.
tremendous old energy, miracle
Yeah.
stuff that happened on the trip with you
Yeah.
and Joanna and the others. It just miracle energy that I'm moving. Now, is it fun and easy? Fun? Hell no. Easy? Not at all. But do I fight against it or do I take a breath? How can I help me in the best way, in the highest way, from compassion? That's how I've been learning how to be a human,
Yeah.
you know?
Literally.
Literally. I mean, I went to the doctor's for the first time yesterday because I wanted to make sure that it was physically going to be okay for me to fly on a plane today
Mm.
because I'm speaking in a women's conference. And I got from the doctor, yeah, after he looked at everything. And maybe I should have been able to sense, but I felt it was a part of taking care of me to do that. And
Yeah.
there isn't any right or wrong way. It's all discovery.
Exactly. And you discover in one moment, and then now imagine things don't turn out the way you were sensing they were going to turn out. It's okay. You just move on to the next level of the moment, like next experience, next experience. Experiences are not successful or unsuccessful. There is no such thing as a successful experience.
No,
And I
because it's
believe
learning,
this is
isn't
a
it?
huge statement. There is
It's learning,
no,
right?
yeah, it's experiencing. It's it's just really experiencing, and you learn it through the experience itself. So, I mean, how can it be successful or unsuccessful? Whatever it is you're experiencing
So,
is what you learn or perceive or incorporate.
so that's being human, right?
Right.
Private joke. Well, I've had to look at this. I have been so psychic intuitive living outside the body my whole life
Yeah.
that that's what it means when you say the humanness of me. So every experience, if I can come at it as a new human
Right.
without judgment, and
There
for
you are.
me, if I get stuck in any judgment of, oh no, that can't be, or whatever, then I'm hurting me.
Yeah. You and every single one of us.
Absolutely.
Because there's no such thing as a successful or unsuccessful experience.
Yep.
It is an experience. It is something we are here to do. We're here to experience. That's a third dimension, is about experiencing. And it's not because, and I've repeated third dimension several times intentionally, because there's all this thing about us rising to the fifth dimension or whatever. We're rising to the seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, whatever, while staying in the third dimension, because the third dimension is the one where you experience. And you can't go up to the fifth and sixth and etc. up, and it's not up hierarchically, it's expansionally. So, because the dimensions are not kind of like a building. It's not a building with floors. It's an expansion that we expand into, and we can't expand into other dimensions of awareness without being fully in the dimension where we are. So the dimension that we are dwelling in is the third dimension, but our conscious awareness dwells far beyond the third dimension. And we can grasp that the more we allow it. And that's what it means that we are kind of rising our frequency to the fifth dimension or sixth or whatever. Yeah, but to rise the frequency, to raise the frequency, uh, the important thing is to fully acknowledge the dimension you are coming from. It is not a prison, it is a gift. It is something that allows you to experience those expanded. No, really, isn't it fantastic that we can expand our frequency, and at this point in time, more than ever before, we can expand our frequency to the far reaches of our consciousness. And of course, there are many more far reaches than the ones we can perceive while in third dimension. But still, there's a lot that we can already perceive, and that we can bring that into our third dimension experiencing scenario and live totally new things that we never ever thought were possible, that we never even believed we could provide for ourselves. So that's what it means that the frequency is being elevated. But the frequency only elevates for each single one. It doesn't elevate like or in other words, the availability of higher frequencies is here more than ever before. But one can only experience them if one is available to come into full acceptance, realization of oneself as a divine human, not just as a divine being, but as a divine human being, because that's what we are experiencing here. It's not a prison. It's not that we are and we remain, it's not that we remain human when we leave the body, when this lifetime is over. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, what's the big deal? We're here to experience this, and it's not going to determine us at all. It is just here to enhance us. Humanness in third dimension is used as an enhancer or not. So it can be the absolute opposite. But I believe that everyone listening today has experienced enough of the opposite. For sure. I really am quite certain about that. And that we're all, yay, saying, yay, yay, now we're going to experience another kind of thing. But it's not out of rejection and out of being in conflict with everything else, is coming to that, yeah, done. Did I enjoy every bit of it? Not really. Well, yeah, some of the parts, even the ones I don't think I enjoyed, maybe I did. But now it's for another kind of enjoyment. And that's what it means that the frequency is rising. It is, but only if you allow it.
By not staying in resistance, by
Yeah,
being in surrender, by not going into judgment at what appears to come into your life at any given moment.
yeah,
Yep. From compassion, you know. And those are all a bunch of words until you start to practice it yourself.
yeah,
You start to make a choice when something difficult arises, and you make the choice to show up and breathe and not resist. That's part of being mature.
yeah. And
Yeah.
we all have ample possibilities for that, because I mean, in every single person's life, there's always an opportunity to face something that is not so agreeable, or that we don't really, that we think we could live without. But yeah, it just, it shows up, and then it's our choice. What are we going to do about it? Are we gonna just, want to deny it, resist it, kick it away, or are we gonna embrace it and allow our consciousness, our those dimensions, those higher frequencies, to come and bring their perfume into whatever the experience is? And
Hmm.
it just
I like
changes
that.
everything. Yeah, it's like a perfume, isn't it? It's a different
Yeah.
kind of fragrance.
It's, yes, you can't put it into words until you discover and feel it for yourself. When
Yeah,
you come out of the chaos of resistance and saying, no, 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 and you fall into this energy that's like arms that wrap themselves around you and hold you in a space
yeah,
where you know that things will be resolved, but you don't know how.
yeah.
Yeah.
It happens to me often that, well, not often, but sometimes it happens that I get a piece of information about something, and I follow that line, and that's the line I'm supposed to be following until everything changes. And then all of a sudden, I can question myself, say, oh no, maybe I wasn't listening properly, or I wasn't, or I might be hallucinating or going crazy or whatever. Either I do that and go into resistance, or I accept that in this reality of permanent change, circumstances have changed, and then I have to redefine my rudder.
Oh,
And
that's
that's it.
helpful. That's helpful. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
it's not that you're wrong or right, or were perceiving your intuition correctly or whatever. You were, because I mean, we have ample proof, each and every one of us, that our intuition never leads us astray.
No. No.
But sometimes circumstances change, especially when many people are involved, and then we just let go of the previous trajectory and create a new one. That's it.
Yes.
That
Yes.
simple. No self-esteem issues, no lack of trust, none of that is allowed for me.
And I'm getting there. I can't say that I'm 100%. I'm not, but I'm getting there. The
it's a
choice
it's a
to love me.
practice. Yeah.
Yes, it is like practicing the breath. It is a practice.
Yeah. And I believe this is so relevant for every person, for every
Yes.
human being, because no matter how much we want to sort of kind of convince ourselves that we are beyond humanness,
Hmm.
um, that creates more of a space for there to be turmoil, which that is something we don't really need.
No, no, we don't. But it isn't. It is at the top of the hour. And
Yeah,
unfortunately, today we have to end at a half hour because of another obligation.
yeah. But I think it was super rich, this half an hour.
Very,
For me, I
very.
enjoyed it a lot. Thank you so much, Serena. It's been super rich.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Tanya. I learned a lot, as
Yeah.
always.
We both learn a lot. We learn a lot from what we're saying all the time,
Mhm.
isn't it?
Yeah,
It's like, oh yeah.
yes. Kind reminders to ourselves.
Yeah. And
Yes,
that's why I really love these live sharings that we have, because they are a kind of open highways to
mhm.
expanded consciousness, where we get to share with each other and share from ourselves as well, and with everyone here, because in a sense it's like we've got the channel connected
Yes.
in each and every point of each and every one of you that is here today or will be
We'll listen
listening
to.
in
Yeah.
the future, because there's no time and space limitation.
Yes.
Thank you all. Thank you, Primoz, Maya, Ada, who commented here, and see you next month.
See you next month on the 4th of April.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm. Thank you.